Looking for a better way to buy a car? Stark Auto Sales holds insurance recovery auctions every Monday. SUVs, minivans, cars, trucks, motorcycles, even exotic sports cars. Thousands of vehicles in stock. Some are rebuildable wrecks, some just parts cars. Others are damage-free theft recoveries. You can save a lot of money bidding in person or online. Stark ships worldwide. If you're looking for a better way to buy a car, stop by the next Monday auction at 119 Union Street, Toronto, or visit starkautosales.com. A monster stainless steel art car designed to run in the desert, a Model A designed to run in the snow, and a review of the all-new Infiniti QX50. I'm Rick Walker. All that and a whole lot more coming up right here on the SST Car Show. SST is brought to you by Stark Auto Sales, home of the ultimate worldwide scratch and dent car sale. Hi friends, I'm Rick Walker. Welcome to another edition of the SST Car Show. We have some very exciting stuff to share with you today, and our next vehicle is going to knock your socks off. This thing was made from all stainless steel tubing. It's gigantic, and we found it at the SEMA Auto Show in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. If there was a head-turner at this year's SEMA Auto Show, it was this monster. Built with gleaming steel tubing, this strange vehicle was constructed for the Burning Man Festival, which attracts over 60,000 people each September. The festival is held in the Nevada desert, and one of the main attractions is art cars, just like this one. Equipped with 5 seats, this vehicle is obviously all about style. It can be driven, but functionality takes a back seat to artistic expression.
It's pretty wild. This is steampunk meets the sand dunes.
On this day, this Burning Man art car is attracting attention not at the festival, but at one of the best custom car shows in the world, SEMA, an event that attracts the world's best custom car builders. They parked this contraption right up front at the Las Vegas Convention Center, and it instantly became one of the stars of this mega car show.
Looks like something from Mad Max.
Giant Mickey Thompson tires, coil-over shocks, seats that look like they came from a medieval torture device, and giant gears, cogs, and sprockets combine to give this gleaming piece of rolling sculpture unrivaled post-apocalyptic flair. Burning Man art car meets SEMA custom car enthusiasts. It's a combo that could only have happened in Las Vegas. We take you now to the Greenfield Village at the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan. That's where we found Dean Wall and his Model A Ford, which was retrofitted to run in the snow. This thing is quite rare. The saying they don't build them like they used to certainly applies to the Ford Model A, especially Model A's that came equipped with the Super Snowbird snowmobile option. This example is owned by Dean Wall.
300 or 400 miles a year we put on it, and we really enjoy it. Have a great time with it.
This is a 1929 Ford Model A. The snowmobile accessories shown here are from the 1930s. But Model A's could be ordered with the snowmobile accessories directly from many dealers. Kits could also be purchased, allowing owners to complete conversions themselves. The Super Snowbird conversions cost nearly as much as the Model A itself, but back in the 30s, mail carriers, milk truck drivers, utility workers, doctors, and others who had to get through deep snow found them indispensable.
They used them at an era when they would roll the roads and pack them, and the cars couldn't get through, but they could still get through with these snowmobiles, and that's when they were popular.
Some models, like this one, were designed so the skis could be lifted and the wheels dropped quickly when the snow ran out and solid road lay ahead. Snowmobile conversions were also offered for Model T Fords, and today there are clubs for snowmobile conversion enthusiasts.
There's a Model T club. To my knowledge, there's no Model A snowmobile clubs, but they let the Model A's kind of help with them a little bit. So, but there is a club, I think it's based in New Hampshire, that's quite strong going.
Dean Wall says parts for snowmobile conversions are becoming difficult to find. Parts for repairs often need to be fabricated, but interest in these contraptions among old car fans remains high, so it isn't difficult to find people who can assist with tips and tricks that can be used to keep snowmobile conversions operational.
But they've become very popular, and therefore people kind of are hoarding all the parts on them. So if you need parts, you got to make them. And but people will help you with that.
The kits came with parts to reduce the gearing in the rear differential. That increased torque, giving these cars the ability to rip through up to 30 inches of snow, even though Model A's only produced about 40 horsepower with the four-cylinder engines. Top speed with the skis on was only about 35 miles per hour. Today, these snowmobile conversions are a spectacle at car shows. They illustrate the versatility of these old Fords. Many have never seen snowmobile conversions before, and even though they are antiques, crowds today marvel at the technology and ingenuity that went into producing them. There is really nothing like them on the road today, proving once again that they just don't build them like they used to. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll review the all-new Infiniti QX50, and we'll have a whole lot more right around the corner, right here on the SST Car Show.
Hi, I'm Jessica at the 2015 SEMA Las Vegas. Don't go away. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey friends, welcome back to the SST Car Show. Here's our review now of the all-new Infiniti QX50, a vehicle that combines practicality with sportiness. The Infiniti QX50 is best described as nimble. It feels solid but light, and that's a good thing, a very good thing in this case. Combine that with this vehicle's 3.7-liter V6 engine, which produces about 325 horsepower, and you get a potent combination that will surprise and delight anyone that slips behind the wheel. The 3.7-liter engine is powerful, deceivingly powerful. When you're cruising around town, it's kind of tame, but when you're on the highway and you need to pass and you punch it, it really delivers. This is like an understated Porsche Macan, but this vehicle is about 60% of the price. Performance is comparable. This QX50 is nimble because it is well balanced. It uses the same front mid-engine mount platform that Nissan uses for cars like the 370Z, and the result is a vehicle that keeps weight distribution very evenly distributed. That translates into exceptional handling. The QX50 drives very much like a sports sedan, even though it sits up higher because it is a crossover. This vehicle has less cargo space than other vehicles in its class, but the trade-off is a sportier ride. The QX50 handles better, accelerates faster, and is more fun to drive than its competitors. Styling is attractive with only hints of extravagance. The QX50 doesn't stand out much, but when you stand on it, there is enough punch there to give you a bit of a rush. It's fun, and one of the big reasons is the 7-speed transmission. The way they have the gears set up on this thing makes a huge difference. The downshifts are positive and the transmission is smooth. The drivetrain is truly a class leader. The interior is first rate. Our test model was not a top-of-the-line QX50, but it still felt luxurious. It felt that way because the quality is so obvious throughout. Infiniti may throw more bells and whistles in with higher trim levels, but they didn't need to impress us. It's really the quality that sets this vehicle apart, not just the electronic gizmos that all companies pack into cars these days just to impress people and pump up sales. So yes, you can get all the features you want as options on the QX50, but this is a car that is a good buy not because of the options list. It's an exceptional ride offering exceptional performance, exceptional engineering, exceptional design, exceptional handling, and exceptional quality. And for that reason, the QX50 is SST approved. And now highlights from the most recent Toronto Classic Car Auction, put on each spring and fall by Collector Car Productions. If you'd like to see the complete list of vehicles sold and check out all the prices, you can get that at ccpauctions.com and also at our website at streetsporttv.com. Stay with us, there's more from the SST Car Show right around the corner.
Hi, Elena here. Don't go away, there's more SST coming your way.
friends. Welcome back to the SST Car Show. I'm Rick Walker, and this week's show is coming to you direct from the SST Dodge Charger. Now, if you own an old vehicle, chances are at some point you're going to need weather stripping. Now, that might sound like a boring topic, but there's actually a lot of very cool science that goes into manufacturing the soft stuff that goes around our doors and windows to keep us dry and keep the interiors of our vehicles very quiet. Well, that science is quite complicated, and what we found out when we went to talk to weather stripping expert Joe Frasciola is that not all weather stripping is created equal. My guest right now is Joe Frasciola from Metro Molded Parts in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, if anybody knows anything about weather, it's people who live in Minnesota, because you get a lot of snow there. It gets cold there.
Absolutely.
And Joe, you guys are all about weather stripping, and you're about quality weather stripping. What should someone look for when purchasing replacement weather stripping for their vehicle? It's got to be soft.
Okay, absolutely. And that's one of the main things that we're here at the show doing, is educating customers that there's things that you can't see on the internet that are really important when you're making a weather stripping purchase decision. And one of those features is basically just the softness of the weather stripping. These two parts are made, this is from one company, brand X, and then this is our company. And if you feel the differences on these, you'll feel the softness, and you can feel how soft ours is, and then you can tell me your opinion on that one.
This thing is almost like a hockey puck. I mean, it's not that hard, but in places it could be, just on the edges. It's very dense.
And it's very important when it comes to closing your doors, because obviously if you have something hard when you're closing your doors, it's not going to squish and compress, where our molded sponge actually will take the memory and the shape of that door. Because it's soft, it'll allow you to close your door first, and then it'll take that shape.
So I'm going to take a close-up on this here, because this is the difference. You can see there's even a difference in color. This is sort of a light gray black. That's a much darker black. I don't know if the color has anything to do with it, but and I wish you could feel this at home, because there is a marked difference in the feel of these two products.
Absolutely. And to show that on a more technical level, the reason that this dense material is dense, so brand X, if you were to go to this monitor here,
and take a look here at this.
I'm using an endoscopic microscope that's 50 times powered, and if you look at this monitor here, you can look and you can see that there's like an ununiform cell structure. You can see the big holes
right up in here. You can see that there are giant holes here, and then it's all kind of uneven, right?
It's all uneven, and you can see where there's a lot of dense area in there. And now to compare that to ours, and I'm just looking at the end view at this point, but if you compare that to ours, you can see that there's a lot more microcells and all through there, and it's a very uniform and even cell structure, which it gives it its softness.
And when you feel these two competing products, there's a different texture to it as well.
Absolutely, and we're making a very high grade EPDM sponge product, and what that means is it is different from a latex foam. For example, General Motors used the latex foam product, and what's different about that is once you break that skin surface and you actually look at what's underneath that skin surface, it has a lot of those, it looks like the same cell structure. In other words, it's an even cell structure, but what's different about this is that it's open cell. So this actually absorbs water, because those holes continue to migrate all the way through, where if you go back and you look at ours, the only reason why we can see these cell structures and these little tiny micro pockets is because we've cut into them, but each one of those pockets is unique to itself. And so they're totally enclosed. So if you cut the surface of our rubber, it will not absorb water.
So when I walked up to the booth, I just asked these guys, what you should look for in weather stripping, and I asked, is their product as good as original equipment? And they said better. And now I can easily understand why.
That's one reason why we feel that it's better.
Right. Well, Joe, thank you very much for sharing this information with us
You bet.
today.
Appreciate you taking
so,
the time.
so when you're out there, whether you choose their product or another product, now you really know what to look for when you're about to purchase weather stripping to replace the old stuff on your old ride. Well, friends, that's all the time we have this week. So until next time, I'm Rick Walker reminding you, when you can't get to the car show, we will bring the car show to you online at streetsporttv.com. Catch you next time.
This has been a Maverick Multimedia production.